welcome. If you guys, I think I recognize everybody in here for the most part, but if I don't, my name is Kyle Nargis. I am the wellness coordinator here at the hospital. And obviously, as you guys see today, I'll be talking a little bit about True North and how the wellness team falls into that with the organization goals and everything else that falls into that as well. So we'll be talking a little bit about who we are. We'll be talking about the committee itself and who's all on it, the team's purpose and how we came up with that, the things we do. So I'll be talking about 3 specific things, some things that might be coming up, some things that are a little generic, but I'll explain the reason why we're choosing to do some of those things. And then obviously, again, why we are doing it. And then at the end, I'll leave a little bit of time for a Q&A as we've been having some questions at the end as well, too. So the first thing being who we are. When I first started about 4 years ago, one of the big things we wanted to accomplish was be more than just that physical side. I think when we think of wellness, I think that first thing we think about is that being physically fit or physically well, or whatever would fall into that. We really wanted to give back to employees in other areas that we felt were just as important. I think the past 3 years have definitely highlighted that and how important it really is. So a lot of the stuff we've been doing in the past 3 years have been more of that mental, that social aspect of wellness to kind of give back to employees. So again, when I first started 4 years ago, this is kind of what we agreed on as our purpose as a wellness committee, and that is to provide opportunities to help promote a balanced lifestyle for all employees, encompassing the whole person mentally, physically, and socially. And kind of that mentally and socially big part, like I talked about too, mental being all the stuff you're hearing about resiliency, work-life balance, and then that social aspect of it too. I tend to think we're all, I'm a believer, I think we all act a little bit differently where we work. So it's kind of nice to get out of here every once in a while and nice to see employees that we see, coworkers that we see every day in a different environment that might be a little bit more enjoyable than here at work. So the stuff like that, it's nice to get out of here and enjoy some stuff every once in a while. And we know how important that can be too. So with obviously, I think I'm your last one today. Everything you've heard about today kind of falling into those pillars of success. Obviously, we fall into that workforce because we are working with our workforce and giving back to the employees when it comes to that too. So this slide here, I consider myself a very lucky individual with the committee that we have. Myself and Kate Ryan are the ones that co-chair this committee, and you could probably see some familiar faces up here, but I'm lucky because we have employees that are really scattered all throughout the hospital in some clinical and obviously non-clinical settings. But it's nice because these employees don't have wellness on their job title like I do. It's not in their title, it's not in their job description. They're just employees that are dedicated to give time, an hour of their time each month, perhaps even more, depending on what we have going on in that month, to give back to employees. So we're thinking about, what's working right now, wellness-wise. What do we need to change? What do we want to plan for in the future? And then obviously that fun one that they always like is deciding on the incentives that we're going to give out for taking shape. And they do a pretty good job of draining my budget to the nearest dollar, giving you guys the good stuff, which is good thing, because with all the efforts you guys are doing with wellness related things, it's nice to kind of give back and recognize you guys for doing that stuff as well. So if you ever have any questions when it comes to wellness committee stuff, obviously you can reach out to Kate or I, or anybody on this list. But if you are interested in joining the wellness committee, you can just reach out to me. We'll get that all squared away with True North, where we're contacting your manager to make sure you have the bandwidth, and they approve of it. And then from there on out, we'll get you on the invite list and get you on these meetings. So we meet once a month. It's the first Wednesday at 9 a.m. and we kind of talk about all that kind of stuff that I mentioned too. So like I talked about before, I'll be talking about 3 specific things that we do as a wellness committee. And we spend a lot of time on some of this stuff as well. And the first one being taking shape, which I think a lot of people have heard about, which is good. But if you don't know what it is, it's a year-long program where it's getting you guys points for the things you guys are doing, anything wellness related. When we first started this, we wanted to have a program that that brought everything all into one. So everything that you guys are doing out in the community, here at the hospital or even at home, you guys are earning points for it. And like I mentioned with incentives, obviously those points are going into some incentives to give you guys some pretty cool stuff for your efforts. My little sales pitch for this, guys, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, this is pretty nice, we offer this stuff for our employees, I just don't see how it fits into my life. I don't really have the time to spend on this and fill out 12 forms throughout the year. My sales pitch is, if that's you, I promise you, you're doing a ton of stuff in your life already that are earning you a ton of points. Why not just track it once a month, turn it in, and then walk away with some pretty cool stuff that the wellness committee picks for you guys to win. Again, I'm not picking the prizes. It's not like I'm in some wellness catalog giving you guys, pedometers or, whatever it may be. This is cool, in my opinion, cool stuff that the committee's picking that we think everybody would want. Obviously, when we decided to do this program, we wanted to change behaviors, and we are hearing some success stories on this stuff, which is really cool. But again, it's kind of our way of creating a fun program here at work that kind of changes the day up a little bit as well. So the next thing here, Katie Leslie, is, as you can see here and on this list, but when it comes to the Employee Biometric Day, I don't know if you guys remember, about 3 years ago, we did one here at the hospital. I wish I could take full credit for it. I simply can't because it went super smoothly. We got about 100 employees in and out of that day, and Lab did a terrific job of kind of making this day happen. So 3 years ago, we had this day where employees could get all their lab work done. They're getting their blood work done. They're getting blood pressures, BMI, their body fats all done here at the hospital. And the best part is, guys, it takes about 5 minutes to get that done. You don't have to schedule anything outside of your own personal time. Come in on your own personal time and do this. If you're here at work, have 5 minutes to spare, want to know a little bit more about yourself when it comes to your health, why not stop down, get it done in 5 minutes? And again, this is not like we're posting these numbers anywhere, comparing them with other hospitals or whatever it may be. This is just a day for you guys to kind of know your numbers when it kind of comes to this stuff. So we did it 3 years ago. COVID hit, other things got moved in front of it. We are actually trying to plan another day like this, hopefully to have it at the end of 2022 or sometime early 2023. So we have another day like this too. So look out for that on the portal. This information is going to be coming, and we're going to have another day for you guys when it comes to knowing your numbers. The next thing here with program competitions. So as generic as that sounds, guys, there is a ton of data out there that shows how something as little as changing your day up for 5 minutes can benefit your mental health. We realize how important it is to kind of get out of that, what seems like the same old day. Like, don't get me wrong, I fall into it. Like, my Monday through Friday feels the exact same, and I'm just waiting for the weekend to come. I'm going to work, going home, eating, watching TV, sleep. Next day's repeat. How can I change that up the slightest here at work where it doesn't feel like the same old thing? And when it comes to the wellness committee, realizing that, we're trying to get stuff out there where we can change up that day. So like the cornhole competitions that you guys see, we just finished up October. We are doing wellness bingo next week. As little as it sounds, guys, there's a ton of benefit to it. And we recognize that, so we can get you guys out having fun, break up the day just the slightest. And the fun part about that, guys, is I'll mention, give you guys a little tip. So since you guys are doing this stuff here at work and getting paid for it, that actually makes you a professional cornhole player because you are getting paid. So you can actually put that on your resume. You can joke around with your friends and talk some smack. I just wanted to make sure you guys are aware that I'm in the presence of some professionals when it comes to cornhole. But yeah, so a lot of stuff that we do, we love getting recommendations on this stuff, and we hear a lot of it too. We want you guys to have fun, even if it's for 5 minutes. We know it's hard to get away for a lot of clinical setting employees. How can we help in that way? And we love getting that feedback from you guys too. So, if you guys have any questions for me, I'll kind of leave a little bit of time for you guys because I know there's kind of some things changing. A lot of questions about the fitness center have come up, and guys, if you haven't read yet, that is now open to all employees. So you guys can come in, use this hallway again to use that fitness center. And another question's come up if I've had an orientation prior to COVID, pre-2020. do I still have to get another orientation? And unfortunately, the answer is yes, because there's other things I need to talk about in that. We need you to get re-upped on badge access. I know it's a little bit of a hassle to come down here in the middle of your workday. We'll get it out in and out 5 minutes, get you everything you need to do to get you that badge access too. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions for me. If not, you guys made it. We're at the end. What's that? As of right now, there's family access we're not doing. Yep. Like that was something we did, and hopefully we can get to that stage, but it's not completely wiped out. But as of now, that's not something we're doing.